and gentlemen, it is me, Mr. Crossing, and I'm back, ladies and gentlemen, bringing you nothing but the best, nothing but the greatest, hey, nothing but the latest,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I know you hear me. Let's go. Let's get with it. Let's do it. I'm waking up and dancing on their heads. I can't talk if you sounding like the feds. What's that? Put it over there. Hopscotch, double dutch on squares. Picasso when I'm playing with the keys. Somewhere flossing overseas. I'm the best thing that you never had. I'm a monster when I'm in my bag. I go from 0 to 50 to 50, 120. I'm scaling up my blueprint. I'm serving all of the fiends. I'm cooking up something mean, serving all of the animals. I was in the jungle, but now I'm back in the streets. You had to struggle while I bubble. Now guess who's in trouble. Ain't no way we compare. You're not on my level. I heard what you said. You sound like the devil. Stepping on the gas with my feet on the pedal. I'm waking up and dancing on their heads. I can't talk if you sounding like the feds. What's that? Put it over there. Hopscotch, double dutch on squares. Picasso when I'm playing with the keys.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Happy Monday.
Let me give it to you one more time. I'm popping for sure. You can activate the hustle, then I get up and go. I was small, now I'm large. Now you see how that go. I'm a master of my craft. You can check out my flow. I'm like Roger on the double, bringing nothing but trouble. I can sit back and relax and eat these ruffles.
Hey, yes, ladies and
gentlemen. Now I'm stepping on the gas with my feet on the pedal.
Greetings. You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen.
You sounding like the feds.
You know what time it is.
Yeah.
You know what time it is.
Zeus.
Let's get ready to get this show started.
Sometimes it gotta be this way.
Greg,
It
greetings,
really does.
champion.
But it shouldn't. Yeah. If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. If you not my
Happy Monday! Order!
I'ma have to cut you off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't play these games no more. What you looking at me for? I just want the money, yo. All these games that you be playing, all this talk that you be saying, I don't really like to play. Get this money every way. Gotta keep my mental clear. Yeah, you know I'm out of here. I don't really have no fear. Yeah, you keep on showing tears. I'm not with that back and forth. I'm the type to get to work. I'm the type to keep it real. I'm the type to get it deal. I'm the type to chase
go,
the
ladies
bag.
and
I'm the
gentlemen.
type to pop a tag sick like I have SARS. Ride around in fast cars, rapping like behind bars. I do this all for my dogs. This is what it all costs when you gotta be the boss. If you not my dog,
Hey.
I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma
not
have
my
to cut you
dog.
off. I'ma have to cut you off. If you not my dog,
I'ma have to cut you off.
I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off.
This is what it be like when I'm stunting on my enemies. This is what it be like when I make them feel my energy. I'm sitting on these rats, okay, you know what this really mean. This is what it's all about. I'm on top of everything. I'm the boss, don't play with me. This right here, no game
April,
with me.
good morning.
Toxic. No, that's not okay with me. Every day you say you scared. Every day I'm making
Let's
bread.
go.
Every day you say you good. Every day I wish you would.
what's
This is what it be like when you really on the come up. This is what it be like when you really trying to run up. Rookie of the year, better go and break the record. Rookie of the year, better go and get a checkup. Yeah.
If you not my dog,
Hey.
I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off.
If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off.
I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off.
Yeah! Guess who's back? The #1 most hated man on TikTok. Yes, it is I, Mr. Crossing, aka Zeus, God of Sky and Thunder. Once again, bringing down the heaviest hammer of truth, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. What an exciting weekend. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. So many things are happening out here in Trump world. I'm the most loved, Shay. Shay, you know the work that you and I do, along with, all of my other friends, you, April, Christina, Swervin, Nutty, all of you. It's the work that we do that has us labeled the villains of TikTok. But you know what I appreciate? Oh yes, I am Triple H. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Christina. I am honest, humble, and handsome. Yes, you too, Heaven. All of us, we are committed to making the United States of America a better country for everyone. And if that means each and every single day, we have to have tough conversations with our friends on the right, we are willing to do it. Okay, I understand this is probably going to be the toughest week in Trump world. So here's what I'm going to do, because I've been getting a lot of complaints. Zeus, why don't you cover President Biden anymore? You need to balance it out, Zeus. You just talk about Trump. You got a, what did he say? Yeah, you got a fetish for Trump, whatever that is. So I said, you know what? I think you know what I'm going to do? We're going to talk about some things with President Biden first. For all of you who want to criticize President Biden, let's just talk about some of the things Biden has going on. And these definitely are controversial things that I think Trump supporters will have to agree with me. Biden shouldn't be doing these kind of things. All right? Biden visits Minnesota plant to tout infrastructure and manufacturing growth. Shame! Shame on President Biden. How dare you? Biden, why? Why are you over there in Minnesota, President Biden? Don't you have something else better to do? Don't you have something in Ukraine to do with your son, Hunter Biden? Seriously? How dare you try to help this country get back on track? Order! Let's see what else Biden has going on out here, ladies and gentlemen. Biden and Harris administration announces availability of $1 billion to help farmers and ranchers invest in renewable energy systems. Shame! I am so frustrated with President Biden. I am so frustrated with President Biden. Is this the best you can do, Biden? Seriously? You don't got anything you could be doing over there in Ukraine. You can't be doing any of those things that I've heard them say about you on Fox News. Instead, you're out here helping farmers. I'm disappointed in President Biden. You know what? Let's see what else Biden has going on. Biden administration is going full steam ahead with a light bulb ban. Here are the ones you won't be able to buy anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, President Biden is moving forward with a bright idea. Shame on President Biden. As of August 1st, the incandescent light bulb will be going into the dark of night and regulations will be banning them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give Biden. Boo! Snuggles, you were right. Good morning, Angela. Snuggles, you were right. Biden is doing a terrible job. Terrible job. Medicare cuts. I don't have any information about those Medicare cuts, Gator Vet. But if you share it with me, please make sure you send me all the information you have about Biden and those Medicare cuts. Because I am so frustrated with all this stuff Biden is doing. The infrastructure package, the reform on the Second Amendment and all that stuff that he's been doing, helping out with the pandemic. I am so frustrated with Biden. And by the way, President Biden, terrible job with the border. You and Kamala Harris could do a better job at the border. So keep your hands off my light bulbs, Joe. So border control, yes, good morning, ma'am. But listen, Biden is doing such a terrible job out here. And it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. It gets worse. You know, I had to get on Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden was spotted outside of a New York gallery featuring his newest artwork, Snuggles. I don't know what Hunter Biden and President Biden got going on, but every time I check in on them, they seem to be doing some nefarious things, and they need to be held accountable. They need to be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. How dare Hunter Biden be out there in New York? Out of all places. You know what's going on in New York right now? Right now in New York, the former president, President Trump, is being persecuted. How dare Hunter Biden go up there and start painting and showing off what he's capable of doing with his artistic ways? Shame! You say I'm not critical enough of the Bidens. I hope you are. I hope this is showing you that I can be equally critical. Okay, now he's outside of this gallery in Soho on Sunday. This was on Sunday. Okay, where his controversial artwork is on display at the Bridging and Abstract exhibit. And look at this. I got photos of Hunter Biden this weekend. Look at Hunter Biden. He is posing with the gallery owner. Shame! Snuggles, you never brought this up. I would love to have in-depth coverage about why the heck Hunter Biden thinks it's appropriate to take such pictures. Is this acceptable? Is this a gross misuse of taxpayers' money? Huh? How dare he? How dare he think it's okay for him to get on camera and take pictures with gallery owners? And it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. Look what Hunter Biden was doing. Holding hands. Wow. With his wife. Shame. How dare he hold his wife's hand this weekend with all of this stuff that's going on in the world? How dare Hunter Biden do such things? How dare he do that? Does he know what's happening in New York? I am so frustrated with President Biden and his corrupt son helping farmers out. Is that his cousin? It could be. I don't know, but it says it's his wife. Oh, and it gets more cringy. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Hunter's wife inside of the gallery playing with their son. Shame! I'm done. Snuggles, you and I have to agree on this. This is disgusting, right? This is awful. Okay, so I hope the Trump supporters here understand that Zeus is equally critical of both President Biden and his son. They are so corrupt. They are so shady. America deserves better. Okay? Now, I can't just cover the Bidens though. I have to move it on and talk about the other stuff that's going on out here in America, okay? So, for those of you who are interested in reporting Hunter Biden and his father, you can go to the Department of Justice website, and there's a section on there called Report Crimes. And please report these crimes: painting, hugging, and kissing. And I heard that they will assign a special prosecutor. Not Jack Smith, Angela. They will assign a special prosecutor who will investigate all of the stuff that you are alleging that Hunter Biden and his dad are doing. And we can get to the bottom and end this corruption in the United States of America. Because these two right here, if we do not stop them in their tracks, they will be the downfall of these lovely United States of America. Now, let's move it on, ladies and gentlemen, because we got more exciting news to cover. And I'm going to open up those boxes and we can talk about any of the content that I'm covering. But I want to be fair. So if I leave this live and I go into a Snuggles live, Snuggles, you can't tell me I don't cover President Biden. I just did. And I even went as far as to cover his son. And the heavy hammer of truth came down several times because I require order and trust in the kingdom. Now let's move it on, ladies and gentlemen, into some other more pressing events, because this is what's important. This is what is important to all of us. Now, let's talk about two women that have dealt a blow to Donald Trump. And I am not talking about that blow. Cut it out. Cut it out. Get your minds out of the gutter. Shame. Get your minds out of the gutter. Post the Me Too era. Okay, this is what's going on right now as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. You know it. Stormy Daniels, okay, and Karen McDougal are the ones at the center of what's happening in New York this week. I just heard on the news today that at 12 noon Eastern time, Trump Force One will be taking off from Florida and flying into New York. You know New York is so corrupt with Hunter Biden painting and hugging his wife and kids all over. Trump will be flying in there to deal with this situation that he's found himself in. Okay, he used to go party with a lot of women back in the day. He used to party with a lot of women back in the day, and it seems like his past is coming back to haunt him in a very strange way. Okay, he ended up partying so much that he left a disgusting trail behind himself that he never took care of. And then when he started to run for office back in 2016, when he became president, a little bit before that moment where they said, Trump, you are the president, he decided to engage in what I'm hearing, questionable payment plan, okay, to these women, 2 women at least, but I know there's more, okay? And what he did seems to be a campaign finance violation. Now, listen, you cannot say I am making this up. I am equally critical of President Biden. Okay, you can't say I'm biased. Okay, so this is shame. It's shame. It's shame. No shame in my game. Okay, and these 2 women, they were not his wife. Okay, this is what makes this even worse. These women were not his wife. He engaged in a scheme to pay them using campaign money. Okay, Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal. And this information that is coming out, we are finding out just how nasty it was. He falsified business documents, may have done worse, okay? Felonies are involved along with misdemeanors, over 30 counts. And he has to go to, tomorrow, he's going to go to New York early today. I would advise him to do that, okay? He may get a gag order, Snuggles. Please speak on the gag order yesterday. I saw how it made you feel. Because we don't need him to talk about what happened anymore and ruin his chances of having a fair defense. But the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is these 2 women, post the Me Too era, they have began the downfall of Donald Trump. And this is what we are dealing with. Order! Greetings, Nutty Professor. Now, you might hear people say things that are controversial. They say that we're helping Trump, and it's not us, by the way, it's not the Democrat. We're helping Trump by prosecuting him. I'm going to have to push back on that. Because there's some criticisms about this indictment that I don't think most people really want to talk about. But I'm going to talk about today. Now, you've heard that such an indictment like this sets a dangerous, they say it sets a dangerous precedence, right? How dare you indict a former president? If we indict a former president, what does that say about everything else? That means anyone else can be subjected to the rule of law. And I want to push back on that and say this. You're absolutely right. And I don't think that's dangerous. What's dangerous is that we don't have people being held accountable for breaking the law. In order for justice to work in these lovely United States of America, there must be trust in the system. Okay? People getting favors from the system and benefiting from it and not being held accountable would be bad for this country. Okay, so what's going on with the former president? If you ask me, again, I'm equally critical. I criticize Hunter Biden and his dad. I'm criticizing Trump. If we are going to be equally critical, this is not a failure in the United States at all. This is actually hope. Okay. While it is true that no former president has been indicted, let's be honest. No former president has done what Trump has done. Ha! Okay, next. They say that the indictment plays right into Trump's claim that he is the victim of a witch hunt and will further gin up support from his base. I would like to push back from that. Now, I do agree that some of his supporters are going to be upset, but you know what I also think? It's confirmation that Trump is actually guilty of breaking the law. He has used every move, every legal maneuver possible to try to avoid this. Okay? And they tried to say that this is a case of political persecution. But the truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, this is evidence that the justice system is truly working. It's not different from any other situation that goes on out here in the United States of America. You and I know how it works out here. You do the crime, you do the time. People ask me, Zeus, do you think it's fair? And I had to tell them, listen, you know how this country works. You know how it works. Two people could very well break the law. We're both going down the freeway. We're both speeding. Imagine this, Snuggles. You and I were driving down the freeway over 100 miles an hour. One of us gets caught. That means you got caught. That doesn't mean I get caught. Come on. And you can't go, well, my defense is that I was racing Mr. Crossing. That's not how this works. Okay, if you get caught for breaking the law, you actually got to do what they say is the penalty for breaking it. You got to go through the process and trust that the legal system would work. And here's the thing. If you weren't breaking the law, you have nothing to worry about. I've beat many of cases. You know, when they tried to falsely accuse me, I went in there very humbly and I simply said, this is the evidence that I have. And they'll look at it and they'll say, you know what? Well, you're right, Mr. Crossing, but we're going to still charge you an administrative fee. Other than that, we're not going to put anything on your record. So my hope is that through this whole legal process, Trump shows the American people what an innocent person truly looks like. Okay, because that's what this is about. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, they say that this is a weak case. They say this is a weak case. This is the weakest case. And I've heard Democrats say this too. I don't know why Alvin Bragg decided to do this. You know what I say to that? So what? I don't care if it's a weak case or a strong case. A case is a case, okay? And we need to see justice. Paying hush money, I don't think that's the issue. But you know what? Falsifying business documents, using campaign funds to make these payments, that's an issue. It is a case, exactly, CC. This is a case, and the American people deserve justice. You cannot sit back and continue to say that we should not be looking at this man who's running for office not once, but twice. This is a matter that we Americans deserve to know. Just like we deserve to know about what Hunter Biden is painting up there in New York, we deserve to know about his father over there in Minnesota talking about infrastructure. We deserve to know. Order. Now, the last thing I'm going to cover before I open up these boxes, ladies and gentlemen, and get straight to it, is some breaking news that happened over this weekend. And I think you all know exactly what it was. This is the most disturbing story that I've read and heard about with the former president. So, this is what I like to call my Jack Smith moment. Jack Smith. Snuggles, listen up. So we are following what Jack Smith is doing. He's working overtime on Sundays. Trump's not getting a break. No. So isn't it funny that after Jack Smith pierced that bubble between attorney-client privilege, and now we get to hear what's going on behind the scene, all this evidence has came out about what happened that led up to the FBI having to go to his compound and recover those top secret documents. Supposedly, and you can go fact check me on this, they asked him over and over, Trump, give us the documents. Now, Trump, told his staff, he told people to give him the top secret documents so that he himself could look through those documents and make a determination as to which ones the National Archives should have and which ones they couldn't. You cannot make this stuff up. And they got him on camera. Then, you know, Mar-a-Lago, they have cameras there, ladies and gentlemen. So these cameras are showing staffers in Mar-a-Lago moving the classified documents. That's what caused the FBI to say, you know what? We think he still has more documents. So now his attorneys are spilling the beans on him. His staff is spilling the beans on him. And we are now at the point where we have evidence, possible evidence of obstruction of justice. Shame! These are real crimes. This is worse than Hunter Biden painting. If you ask me, this is the word. Obstruction of justice? So in addition to stealing documents that are classified from the federal government, in addition to possibly committing espionage okay, against these lovely United States of America. Once again, we have Trump being involved in obstruction of justice. Shame! One, shame! You cannot blame anyone else other than Trump for this. Anyone that continues to say it's the Democrats, you're lying. I'm going to have to call it what it is. You're lying. It's not just misinformation. At this point, it's lying. It's lying because you're willfully doing it. You're willfully lying. You have more than enough information to make a what I call a sound decision about what's going on at this moment. He is his own worst enemy. And I hear, I was in Snuggles Live yesterday. There's a gag order that's going to be requested when he goes to New York today or tomorrow. He's going to need a gag order. Why is he going to need a gag order, ladies and gentlemen? Because if I were Trump's attorneys, I would say this to the judge, not in front of Trump, but I would say this. Can you put a gag order on this nut? He is going to ruin my reputation if we allow him to be on social media spewing out at the mouth. Please put a gag order on this guy. That's what I think is going to happen. He's been threatening the prosecutor. Greetings, Poker Dad. He's been threatening the prosecutor. He gets on Fox News. He got the picture of the bat next to him. And his supporters, they clean it up very well. But he gets on the Fox News. He sits down right across from Sean Hannity. And Sean Hannity, I know Sean Hannity is really trying to help him. Sir, you need to clean up this whole thing with the bat, right? That you had with the bat next to Alvin Bragg's head. I'm going to give you the opportunity to clean it up. I think you shouldn't even talk anymore on TV. But since you can't control yourself, we're going to do it. Okay. Tell the world why you had that bat next to Alvin Bragg's head. Oh, that bat? What I was doing, see, that bat was made in the United States of America. And what I was doing was promoting American-made businesses in that picture. And I just took a picture like this, and then somehow they photoshopped that picture, and it magically appeared. Let me get the sound. It magically appeared. And I ended up next to Alvin Bragg's head with the bat, okay? And I didn't do it. Someone else did that. As if I was born yesterday, Trump. Shame. No accountability. So in other words, Trump, whatever, I don't think you have the skill set to Photoshop that picture, Trump. I wasn't asking you about that. What I'm asking you about, sir, is why did you retruth it on your own account? And he gave no answer. So, and as far as I am concerned, he did it because he was trying to intimidate and threaten the prosecutor. And I know the judge saw that, and they're going to have to put that gag order on the former president and tell him no. So while the gag order is on him, he's going to be sitting and stewing. He's going to be going through convulsions, because he wants to get his message out. He wants to get his side out, but nobody's going to want to hear it. Nobody's going to want to hear it because we don't believe Trump anymore. Okay, this is about accountability, ladies and gentlemen. And the fact of the matter is he can't stop breaking the law. Even if he can't, he doesn't know how to stop. Even as we speak, he's probably breaking the law on something else that he currently has going on. So listen up, Trump supporters. Please do us all a favor. And I'm going to blame the Trump supporters for this. Because you won't stop supporting him, you keep making his life worse. He's like an old entertainer that should just stop getting on stage and performing because it takes too much. It's taking a toll on them. Okay, but instead, you want to make them get on stage and risk their health. Because that's the love that you guys have. It's a toxic relationship. If you really love Trump, just let him calm down and figure this out and just say, we love you, but we just don't think you running for a second term is healthy, sir. Because you and I know you're going to go all the way and I'm going to go all the way. And it's going to be a toxic relationship out here. You're not going to stop until something bad happens. We're not going to stop until something bad happens. So it's time to just say, We had a good run. Can you do that for me, Trump supporters? Please stop making Trump go further and further into this, because he's not going to stop. He's a tyrant. He doesn't know boundaries, and why should he? He's never had to. So I'm calling on the Trump supporters. Please stop putting your leader into these situations by asking him to keep going. Please. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It is time to open up the box and let's talk. I want to hear from each and every single person that I can before I have to, wrap this up and go to the gym and work out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're on TikTok too much, do me a favor. If you're on TikTok too much, please be mindful to take a break, okay? Make sure you take a break and don't let this app consume you, because that's bad. If you let it consume you, it does a number on you. Okay, greetings, Nutty Professor.
So,
Good morning. How are you?
good morning. Good. How
Hello,
about
how are
yourself?
you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about
I
yourself?
am doing quite well. I am monitoring all the media outlets today as usual. It's going to be an exciting week.
So, can we can we uh can we start something new today as far as this whole Donald Trump, Joe Biden, all of these things? So let me tell you what I'm going after.
What do you want to do?
We are in a culture of whataboutisms.
Yeah.
When we talk about Trump and the things that he has done, crimes that he has potentially committed because he has the presumption of innocence.
Mm-hmm.
We can't get any one of his supporters to say, you know what, he needs to stay in court. Instead, they come back to, well, what about Hunter Biden?
He's
What
armed
what
by his painting in New York and kissing his
what
wife. And
what
so,
what about Hunter? How is Hunter worth $250 million and his dad is only worth $8 million? Okay, and that's my okay, and so and then they say, well, what about the fact that he profited off his father? Okay,
and
and
tell
so
him,
because
Nutty. Tell him,
so
Nutty.
can we
Tell him.
can we go back to say, you know what, Jenna and Barbara, those would be the Bush girls, Bush number two. They profited off their father. Nothing. I'm not saying they did anything illegal because
No.
Jenna now, she clearly got the gig that she got with, I think it's what, CBS.
Mm. You tell
She,
me.
she
I don't follow them at that level, but tell us what
well,
they're
no,
doing.
she's a reporter on one of the major networks,
Oh.
but she got that. I'm not saying she's not qualified because she is qualified, but she got that because her last name was Bush.
Oh. Oh.
She got it
Does Bush
because
mean
her
corruption?
father was the president. My point being is that when you have children, especially children that grew up in the White House, especially them, they're because of their name,
Mm.
people are still going to gravitate to them because of proximity. It's called
Right.
in proximity to.
Right.
So I have no issues with Hunter Biden.
No.
I have no issues with
Wait, wait,
Hunter
wait,
Biden
wait,
laptop.
wait. I was going to agree, but I
No,
promise to be
no, no,
critical.
no.
I
Hear
have
what
to
I'm
be critical.
saying.
You don't have a problem with him hanging out with his wife in New York this weekend at that art gallery?
Oh yeah, yeah. I have a problem with a man hanging out with his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
I,
Those are real crimes.
so I have no issues with him because we in the same breath, when I use the whataboutisms against them and say, well, what about Ivanka Trump, who got these patents from China while she worked in the White House and her father was the president?
Ah, 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 ah,
We've never
ah. Order,
had
Nutty.
we've never had
What
anything.
are you talking about?
We've never had that happen before.
What?
So she got these patents in China, but yet China, according to her dad and according to Trump supporters, China is so bad. Bad for the American people. They're stealing our data. They're doing this, they're doing that, but yet she got patents in China. And what about her husband, Jared, who
Don't
got 2 billion with a B
shame! No, 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 Nutty!
from Syria?
Order!
So we can use the whataboutisms. We can use the whataboutisms. So let's just not, and let's just keep the topic on hand and talk about Donald Trump. And then if the topic goes over to Joe Biden, we can talk about Joe Biden. I can tell you the accomplishments of Joe Biden, but let this be said in perpetuity.
Oh,
If Joe Biden commits a crime, you're going to hear me. I can only speak for myself.
right.
You're going to hear me say, hold him to account.
Hold him accountable. Right.
He needs to be accountable, whether he's a sitting president or not. So I know I took way more time than you normally give, but there's one more thing that I want to ask you because this happened on your live and I just want to address it with you, the host.
Absolutely. Ask away.
So the other day when we were in the live and there was a racial comment that was made on your live.
There was?
Yeah, there was a racial suggestion on your live.
Was it
And
made by Zeus?
it wasn't by you.
Thank
It
you.
was not you. You did not make a racial comment. However, one of the people that you consistently have in your boxes that you're friends with made a racial comment. I went over to his TikTok to try to have a discussion about it because I feel like this. We talk, we joke, we're hard on each other when it comes to politics. But when it crosses a line, it crosses a line. And for me, it crossed a line when Snuggles was talking about Ashley Babbitt, and he said something about, well, what if her name was Shaniqua? Snuggles, if you're in here, you crossed the line, my friend.
Are you going to talk to him about said remark?
So,
Because one of the things outside of these political conversations and the friendship that I've developed with Snuggles over this course is accountability. Uh, and so, if Snuggles here and willing to discuss said remark in Zeus's live, okay? Because I have a zero tolerance when it comes to racism, okay? Unfortunately, this is where we are, okay? We were talking about Ashley Babbitt, and this did happen. Where is Snuggles?
well, when you asked me, did I plan on talking to him? I went over to his live to talk to him about said thing. He stopped me and said, "Do it offline." But in the same breath, he said, "I'm done talking about it."
Well, he doesn't want to talk about it, Ashley Babbitt, anymore because I think because of that incident, he knows that that is no longer a debatable topic.
But
Yeah, I'm here.
But be
I'm
that
here.
as it
No,
may, Snuggles, let me, okay, since you're here, let me say my
yeah,
piece, and I promise you, I'm going to listen to everything you have to say.
absolutely.
Deal?
Go ahead.
The reason why it offended me, because you could have
Mhm.
used any name under the sound of my voice, and you chose to say, well, what about Shaniqua? And the racist tropes in that was all through
Uh-huh.
that. And when I came to say, hey, that offended me because I feel like that crossed the line. And you said, well, I already did a live about this and I'm done with it. Well, I wasn't in that live, but I still need to tell you how you offended me and how I felt that it was racist.
Okay, I
And
apologize for that.
before I label anybody a racist,
Okay,
I want to give them the opportunity to say, you know what,
right.
that's not the way I meant it. Because I don't want to do that to you because we
That
do
isn't the
have
way I
heated
meant it.
conversation. We do
Right.
have
That
heated
isn't.
conversation,
We
but
do, and that isn't how I meant it, Nutty. And let me just tell you that I can't find in the Wikipedia that Shaniqua is just a name; it's an example. There's nothing in Wikipedia that says it's a slur. There's people that uses Karen all the time. You're a Karen. That's a white lady's name. There's people that says "Bye, Felicia." That's another type of saying. It's a name. It's not a slur. It's an example. So, but
okay.
if you take it as a
So,
slur, I apologize for that, but it's not. It wasn't nothing that I meant to be any type of racist name, and I don't want to look at the comments. But if it meant
well,
something to
no,
you,
don't look at the
I
comments.
do
Just talk to me.
apologize.
Just
I
talk to
just
me.
use
Don't look at the
right.
comments.
I just use it for an example as a name, not as something racist.
Snuggles, do you
Absolutely.
understand the assignment in this context that we're in right now? I think the direction in this is you really
Right.
can't justify it. There's no justification.
Well,
It's more
it's
of
up. Even
I
thinking
made a
about
mistake.
the name Shaniqua, other people thinking of it as being racist, is on them too as well. Shaniqua is not in a slur. It's
No,
not a
no,
slur.
no, no.
So
Yeah,
no one said it was a slur, but
no.
but
What?
we
It's
do
an
know.
example.
No, Snuggles.
See,
Let's be real. Let's be real. You know
I
you're
am
not
being
gonna
real.
find. You know you're not gonna find a white person, and if you do,
Right.
maybe it's one out of 280 million. You're not gonna find any white woman with the name Shaniqua, but you know you can find a black person that's named Shaniqua. You knew what you were doing, and the fact that the whole Karen thing, the
Yeah.
Karen, a black woman can be a Karen. So don't go there with me with that. And so saying Shaniqua is, you're right, it's not a racial slur. But the
It's
racial
not.
undertones that you had when you said that, you knew you were targeting a race. You were, because what you were saying by saying Shaniqua, it was like if this had been a black woman, you guys would be talking about it. That's what you meant by that.
So if I said it either way,
there's no. There's
would it
either
have mattered?
Snuggles. It's
What if
really
I would have
nothing.
said it if it was a black woman? You guys still would have harped on me either way.
But why? That
Wouldn't
had
you have?
nothing to do.
Wouldn't
But
you have?
that
No.
had
Wouldn't
nothing.
you have?
No,
Wouldn't
Snuggles,
you
stop,
have?
stop. This is not time to overspeak. Let's have a conversation.
I think you're
That
missing
Oh,
the
okay.
assignment,
Okay.
Ashley
Snuggles.
Babbitt, what she did,
Okay.
that had nothing to do with race, my friend.
Okay. All right. But
Don't dismiss
it's
me. But don't
right.
dismiss
No,
me.
no,
That
no,
had
no.
nothing to do with race.
Let's just ignore the fact of Ashley Babbitt. That's fine. She was shot by a black
I
officer.
think you're missing
Let's
the
ignore
point,
that though.
Snuggles.
He's
Jay,
missing the
No,
point
no, no,
because he
Snuggles.
no.
won't
It's all over the
listen.
news. No,
I
a
might
white
have to clear
woman
the
died
box.
and it's not on the news. So I find that to be racist. There's protests across this country and I find that to be racist. So
I don't
He's
think.
not listening.
I don't think he gets it.
He doesn't, because what she was doing had nothing to do with race. And the fact that he's equating that she was shot by a black officer who was in the commission of doing his job, because we saw it in 4K. We saw it in 4K. She was not shot in the back. She wasn't running away from the officer. She was still making a threat towards the officer who was in the commission of trying to save legislatures. He told her, gave her commands. Should I say she should have complied? Because had she complied, she'd still be alive today. I'm not saying she got what she deserved, because I don't wish death on any person.
What a sad day when this is still being questioned. If you
So
get if you get called out on any if you get called out on any kind of inappropriate conduct, um, as far as I am concerned, it's not an opportunity for you to explain why you did it. It it's an opportunity for you to rise to the occasion and take accountability. And I don't know why that's so difficult, Snuggles.
can I say one more thing, and I'll hop out, and the content can move forward, because I know you only have a limited amount of time, and I appreciate you taking this time to address this. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So the term "by Felicia." So Snuggles, if you're still here, "by Felicia" came from the hit show that was written and directed by Ice Cube, Friday. There was a scene in Friday where the character's name was Felicia,
I know
and she
that.
went up to the car while Ice Cube was talking to his girlfriend in the movie, and he stood up and said, "Bye, Felicia." That's where that term came from. Had nothing to do with the race. It came from a movie type, a scene in a movie, and it caught on like wildfire,
Right.
because Felicia was a crackhead, and he was like, "Bye, Felicia." So miss me with this racial stuff, man. You talk about how everything's racial, and then you make a racist statement, and then you don't want to atone for what you've said. And with that, I'm going to drop it. I've said my piece on it. He knows that he offended me. his half apology, non-apology, that's something I have to deal with, and I will deal with it in my own time. But I'm done with it on your live. Thank you for this time. I appreciate it. I feel better. And I'm gonna get out the comments so other people can get in.
All right. Well, thank you, Nutty Professor, and I do hope that this gets dealt with and resolved in the most productive and constructive way. I do not believe in basically permanently telling someone that they're racist. As far as I am concerned, I don't think Snuggles is racist. I don't feel he is. I think that he does know how to do what they call the dog whistle. Um, and it was offensive. And if you're not if you don't want to sit here and listen to people telling you that what you said and the conduct that you are engaged in is offensive, then it definitely changes things going forward.
Well,
I
it changes how I think of him now, because here's the deal. I again, I even just said I don't want to label you a racist without giving you an opportunity to fix this. But yet, instead of just saying, you know what, I'm sorry that I said that and that you felt that way, but instead he said, well, if you take it because of this, because Wikipedia didn't say this, so I didn't think that you were a racist, but you're defending your action. So now I
that
question, are you a racist?
the part about defending it, it doesn't matter what the issue is. It could be you're stealing money from a bank. It's it's almost like obstruction at this point, right? We're trying to bring something that's very serious to your attention, and it doesn't matter how you feel about it. It's like at a certain point you have to just sit there and go, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't get it right. I was trying to, come across in a jokingly way. Whatever. I mean, you don't even really need to give an explanation. You know it was wrong. And I don't and that's why, I'll talk to him offline, but I don't want him getting in trouble on TikTok. I don't want all of that. But I wanted you to be able to, at least since it happened on my live and he was willing to come up, I did feel it was necessary for that conversation. So it is what it is.
well,
You,
again, I'm not gonna hold this space anymore, because there, your lives are very entertaining, and so let's get to the entertainment. Thank you
well,
for this. Thank you for this space.
listen. I'm not ramping back up to the 100 miles an hour of entertainment after such conversations, because it's a serious thing, and so we'll see where it goes. There are some other people who do want to come up, you know, but I think what we did in terms of calling out and speaking against racism on this platform is needed. It's not any other form of bigotry. Not going to be tolerated. I get it. I get it. Sometimes it does sound funny and it might seem like that, but you got to really understand uh, the room, And I think sometimes, for instance, Biden made that comment, and if you don't vote for me, or what did he say on the Breakfast Club?
Well, to put everything in context, him and Charlemagne the God was talking about why so many black people vote Democratic,
Right.
and he was going through the evolution of why black people tend to vote Democratic, and then he made a quip, and so Charlemagne the God said, "So are you saying that all black people are going to vote for you?" He said, "Well, if you don't vote for me, are you?" All right. And so people said, well, Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for him, you're not black. That's not what he said. And go listen to the interview with Charlemagne the God. It will put everything in context. And you can see that Joe Biden, because when I was listening to it, I laughed at it because I thought it was funny.
I did too, but is there a way? Maybe this is the point I'm trying to make. I'm sorry we're into this race thing, but you know what? Is there a way for people, people that are non-colored to engage with black people in a jokingly way and not be racist? I think that's the question, because I think that there could be this temptation to want to feel like you can do it, and in trying to do it, you might get it wrong. What are your thoughts on that?
So to simply put, yes, there is a way. So if you make a mistake and you're called out on the mistake, just say, you know what? That's my bad. That's not what I meant. And move on. Because guess what? People of color, we're more forgiving than anyone else. And we know people are going to make mistakes because we make mistakes on a daily basis. And I
Yeah.
don't want someone to keep my mistakes in my face. So once you said, hey, my bad, I didn't mean that, without the excuses and truly mean it, then yes. And then we'll tell you, hey, maybe next time you should, maybe, because I understand what you meant, but maybe next time you should say it this way.
Yeah. So there is
Because
a,
it's a teachable moment.
and that's kind of that's why I was hoping we could get to that point in the discussion where it was okay. I made the mistake, and then we could open up that door and say, hey, if this is really what you're trying to do, here's the best way to go about doing it. Or in certain situations, don't even try.
Yeah.
You have to be culturally sensitive in all areas. And the bigger your platform gets out here, and I talk to people all over the world, not just here in the United States. And when I go into their spaces, I have to be very mindful of these things as well. I can't joke around in the same way they can sometimes, but it's not like it's a bad thing. It's like an opportunity to learn.
But what you just said is very important because when you go into other spaces, what do? You read the room.
Yes.
You got to read the room. You just can't say what comes to your mind because
The
if you
more
say something
information.
that offends someone, people are going to call you out on it. And people did call Snuggles out on it when it happened, but he just refused to listen. And so people keep saying, Antoine, move on because he apologized for it. Well, I wasn't in the live when he apologized for it.
He did in his live, and his friends told him he was wrong.
But that's my point. I
But
wasn't there, so I felt like I needed to address
yeah,
it with him.
and because it was in my live, I had to understand that there's a certain responsibility I needed to take in terms of how to deal with that as well. So that's why I took a moment to address this. But I hope going forward this doesn't reoccur again. I really do. Okay, I really
Well,
do hope this doesn't go on. I get we're frustrated that Trump is in trouble, and when people get frustrated, they get vulgar, they start yelling and insulting. Now's not the time to do it.
Well, tomorrow, I'll say this, and then I'm really gonna let other folks in here.
LP
Tomorrow,
King.
I hope Donald Trump. I hope he does the right thing and turn himself in, because even though I would get a field day seeing him with a perp walk, that's not what I really want to see. Just turn yourself in, get to your arraignment, get back to Mar-a-Lago because we know it's going to be forever before he gets to trial. So don't make the government come after you because you know they will, because Article 4, Section 2 of the United States Constitution, Ron DeSantis cannot protect you, even though he said that he's not going to do anything with the extradition. He has no control over that.
Hey, well, Ron DeSantis ain't. Yeah, like you said, he's not in control like he thinks he is. So it's a done deal.
Right. He has to show up because if he does not show up, now a warrant will go out for his arrest even more, and now the U.S. Marshals will get involved, and the Secret Service cannot protect him because they will coordinate with the Secret
Oh my
Service,
goodness.
and the Secret Service will bring him in.
I see. Now listen up, Nutty Professor. I got to move it on. There's other people who want to come up. All right. What an incredible day. And what are you doing the rest of the day?
I'm going to work,
Fair
so I
enough.
gotta go. I gotta go teach some young minds.
Okay. Fair enough. I got to move it to the next conversation. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Whew. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Greetings, Brother Greg. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Zeus. How are we?
How are you?
We're doing well.
Oh my gosh. What do you got for us? There's a lot to deal with on a Monday morning. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew that there was obstruction in the Mar-a-Lago situation.
Mm,
We knew that months ago.
mm,
And Bill Barr himself, like I said on the Sunday show, literally said that was the most severe case
mm.
available to him. And he also said that a gag order would be interesting because Trump can't keep his mouth shut.
He really can't. He's his own worst enemy.
Yeah, it's
He really is.
it's very interesting to me because I'm trying to put it in perspective. Like if you look at what's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to be pretty straightforward. There's going to be, some people that are there. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know if you got to see her interview.
I
Um,
saw bits and pieces of her interview on 60 Minutes, and boy, oh boy, I don't know. Do you think she's trying to run to be Trump's vice president? Is that what
probably,
that was about?
probably. I mean, it's no better way to do it than be on, 60 Minutes.
That was
And
the
that's
worst time of my day yesterday watching that. I was so disgusted in her conduct.
Yeah, and I mean, it's normalized. So I just think that we really have to understand, what her aim is. She's coming there tomorrow to, protest, but it's going to be, she claims it's going to be peaceful. So we'll see. You know,
Mm.
with um, with New York and NYPD, a lot of
Heidi,
times,
greetings.
you don't want to mess with those folks. It's going to be you know, pretty heavily guarded, one would believe,
Yeah.
for sure. Um, I
Well,
just hope,
he's leaving at noon today to fly to New York. He's taking Trump Force One to New York. Probably going to stay in Trump Tower out there overnight.
yeah,
And hello, Chris. Nice to see you. And deal with the consequences as such.
yeah. Sorry for the low voice. The rest of this week I'll be able to talk, but
You're in
better.
the bunker.
Yeah,
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, listen, I won't hold you up too
yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah.
All
I'll
right.
have more. I'll have more to say probably. Tomorrow, next day, stuff like that. But
Fair
thanks for
enough.
letting me up.
No problem. And keep us posted on any breaking news.
Will do, Zeus.
All right.
See ya.
Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting closer and closer to that inevitable day of justice being served for the former president. And we're gonna get Hunter Biden and President Biden too. They are definitely on the menu as well. Greetings, Angela. How are you?
I am well. Good morning. There's been so much said. I don't know if I can say any more.
Oh, okay. I
No,
understand. We got a bit of a dose of entertainment and reality, I should say. Mm.
yes, I actually just wanted
Okay,
to read
Kiki.
a
Huh?
quote from Ivanka Trump.
Oh,
Is that okay?
absolutely.
Okay, so this is what she has said about her
Good
father.
morning, music man. Yeah.
She said, I love my father and I love my country today. I am pained for both. I
Mm.
appreciate the voices across the political spectrum expressing support and concern. Now, I feel like that was very well written,
Yeah.
right? Very well versed.
Right.
But I kind of feel like she's stepping back and saying, you know what? I don't want any part of this. And this is her own father. This is her own father.
Yeah.
And she
Imagine
is
having to decide
saying,
between your country and your father.
I cannot
Hannah,
imagine. Now, see, my father is no longer with us, but I'm going to tell you right now, if my father behaved in such manner, I would do the same.
you would,
I
right?
would. Now, I'd like to say I saw your video on having Marjorie Taylor Greene
Oh,
on. Oh goodness,
you saw
I
that?
don't. I don't know why I watched that. That was difficult, but I watched it, and
I did too.
shame on them.
I wasn't gonna make it that long, but I was like, where do
Well, I
you
mean, it was like a train wreck. I couldn't stop watching. Um,
no.
but I'm kind of disappointed they gave her any airtime whatsoever. She does not deserve that at all.
Mm.
She's despicable. She is very dangerous to our country. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I know she's dangerous because she's not uh behaving as though she has, the traditional respect and values um that people in Congress generally do. It's definitely more of a personal vendetta feel
Yes.
when you listen to her. It sounds like she's she's taking on some sort of grievance, which I don't know what it is. What happened to her? And well, we don't. I think there's too much government spending. What?
Exactly. I
What?
mean, that's such a
That's a
load. I think she's trying to be the vice president. This is what she's doing. So I think somebody mentioned that. I don't know if it was you. That's what she's doing. I think Carrie Lake is doing the thing. So I think that's going to be interesting because I think those two are going to go against each other. Now, one last thing, since somebody brought up Ron DeSantis
hmm
and he's making this statement about how he's not going to be involved in any
yeah.
extradition. First of all, he can't be. So whatever. Now, what I think he's doing is he's pandering to Trump's base. That's
Eh,
all he's doing. He can't stand Trump. Let's be real here. But he wants his base.
Mm,
So he has to pretend like he actually is supporting Trump in all this. But in all reality, no, he's just saying this like, oh, look at me. I'm supporting Trump by not having him sent up there. That's all he's doing.
mm,
It's political theater.
yeah.
That's
He
all it is.
he's trying to keep the Trump base, but I think it's going to backfire on him, as with a lot of things that have been backfiring in the Republican Party, because the Trump base, I don't really think they care about anything other than Trump.
Exactly. I don't think
They-
anybody will ever get that base.
nope.
They are just totally devoted. And I don't like to say it, but it's cultish behavior. They get all upset when they hear that word, but it truly is.
Mm,
They cannot say, I had a live one time and I said, please name me one thing that you do not like about Trump. They couldn't do it.
mm.
I couldn't find one person that could
They
do it.
won't. They won't admit that there's things about him they don't like. But I think when they are in their privacy of their own area,
Hmm.
right? They probably are in the bathroom in the mirror, and they whisper, "Jack Smith, Jack
Oh,
Smith." That's
he's
when
terrifying
the
them.
bells when the bells start to go off, and they start to
He's
say, "You know what? I don't like Trump because he keeps having this guy Jack Smith circling around in my thoughts."
They can't even sleep at night sometimes, picturing Jack Smith.
No,
They really can't. He's coming to them in their dreams. Now, I want to say one last thing to be clear.
Jesus Christ.
Um, as far as Biden, I
Mm-hmm.
don't worship him. I do not worship elected officials.
You
That's
shouldn't.
not, I do not. You know what? I'm going to be completely honest here, okay? Just between you and I.
Okay.
He was not my first choice.
Oh,
Okay? I'm sorry. I
wait
have
a
to
second.
admit.
So you didn't vote for Biden?
No, let's talk about. No, I did. I did.
Oh,
Let's be clear. I did. I'm talking about in the primaries.
okay, okay. Who was
Okay.
your first choice?
Okay, everybody. Bernie Sanders.
Oh, okay. That's
Yep, but that
fair.
was in the primaries.
Yeah,
Okay, in the
yeah.
primaries. But of course, I voted for Biden. I would have voted for anybody other than Trump. Now, he could have been sitting in a wheelchair in a diaper full of pee with drool
Oh.
dripping off his chin, and I was still going to vote for him. Okay, that's
Oh my gosh, that
that's
is
it.
so
I
hilarious.
just want to make that clear to
Thank you.
everyone that Biden is not perfect in my eyes. I
No,
don't worship him.
we don't.
No.
We just I tell people right now, especially people who say that I'm a Democrat. I said, I'm considering turning Republican now. Okay? And I will be a Republican against Trump. Those are the only conditions. I will be a Republican against Trump, okay, if that's what it takes to keep this man out of office, okay? Because there
Yeah,
are so many other Republicans out here, and they're so quiet because they can't speak up against this stuff going on in their party, and I understand, and they
exactly.
need help. So
They do. They do.
we have to look for the Republicans against Trump out here, okay? Us
Right.
Democrats, to make sure we forge an alliance with them and help
Yes.
them to keep the Trump supporters in check. Ha!
I agree. One last thing is where
Yes.
I'm from. My state senator is Susan Collins.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Now, I don't know if we know Susan. Okay. So I'm not completely against her. She has come out against Trump a few times,
Good.
but right now she's kind of quiet. So I'm a little disappointed she's been quiet.
That's how
She's
politics
kind
are.
of a flip flopper. We
Yeah.
call her flip flop Susan Collins. We never know what she's going to do. She's a rhino, they call her, but she's all right.
Oh. See, well, listen. Let's
That's
let's
what
do
they
it.
call her.
I think her heart's in the right spot.
Oh,
Okay,
it
and
is.
and,
It is.
because she has to, be mindful. There are still people who have that affinity to the former president, and it's kind of hard to manage them and then still keep the big picture in mind. But
Yes.
eventually, I hope that she does make the right call when needed,
Yes.
and
She's in
we
a blue state, so it's difficult. It can be difficult for her. So,
absolutely
but I'll give
think.
her some credit for speaking out here and there. Now I'm going to go, but
All
I just
right.
wanted to say that, and I hope you have a wonderful Monday.
I definitely will have a nice day, and please be watching the news and watch when Trump Force One takes off.
Oh, I'm on it. On it.
All right. Thank you,
Okay.
Angela. Ladies and
Take care.
gentlemen, thank you, Angela. Moving on. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. We have so many amazing guests today. I mean, what a day. This is the age of accountability and transparency. Now, Kiki, you said you had a brief amount of time to chat. What do you got, and how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well.
All
I'll be
right.
really quick.
Okay.
Do you remember the video that Snuggles showed us yesterday?
Oh my God.
Well, I found that video, and I'm gonna post Goldman's response to it.
Oh, Goldman's my man.
I know I
Go-
love him.
he responded to that.
Yes,
And
it,
for context, what was
it
the video about? Yeah, it was a torture video.
it was
Tag me too.
I was gonna tell you, make sure you see it because I'm gonna tag you in it. Make sure you watch it.
There's so
All those
many people out there asking to be tagged, and for those of you who don't know what's going on, every time we go into Snuggles Live, he plays these videos about these so-called investigations into Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and their efforts in the Ukraine. 10 minutes long of lies and conspiracies, but he believes
exactly.
it.
Yeah, so I won't give you too much info because I want you to see it for yourself. But basically, it's all baseless shit that they make up, no
Oh, keep it
evidence.
clean now.
Oh,
You
I'm
know we
sorry,
don't.
stuff.
Keep it clean.
I apologize.
Thank you.
Anyways, yeah, if you want to be tagged in it, then just follow me and I'll tag you in it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tag you in it. So make sure to watch it later.
Okay. That's fabulous. Okay.
All
And
right,
thank you
take
so
care.
much for your unwavering commitment to the truth. Okay. Because it's important that we get the
Yes,
truth out here so people can make the most informed decision they can.
exactly.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. You too. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, please follow Kiki. She is out there in the comment section, and she's a very good friend of mine that loves the truth. All right, let's keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Snuggles does owe me my steak still. Who do we got? Why not? Greetings. I don't know if it's gonna work. Why not? Are you there? It's not working. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh my goodness. All right, let's move it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if this one works. Well, Johnny, greetings.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh
How
my
are you doing?
God. We continue the shit show known as America.
Oh, you mean the show? We know curse, Johnny. You know we got
Oh,
to keep it clean.
sorry.
You
The
know.
poop show. The
Yes,
poop
America
show.
is definitely on display right now. We got all kinds of corruption going on between Hunter Biden and
I can't believe this is where we're at in America
oh,
in 2023. It's like a giant soap opera.
I agree.
It's just ridiculous.
What
You
what
know,
is your what is your grievance or your I guess what's frustrating to you right now about this?
just that, just the soap opera, the whole. It's just totally ridiculous.
Mhm.
It's just absurd.
Mm.
The whole Trump thing. I mean, it just hit me. I'm just like this. I think Trump's showing up. A dark secret. I just got this offline. Secret website I follow. Trump is showing up at the arraignment tomorrow with Hunter Biden's laptop.
Woo! You can't make this stuff up.
You can't. You
Really?
can't make this shit up.
Come on
Sorry,
now,
sorry.
keep it clean,
You
Giant.
can't make this. You can't make this crap up, man. You really can't. I mean, it's just
He's
ridiculous.
showing up with the laptop.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Secret website. I obtained through connection I found deep in the video that Snuggles just posted.
Oh.
You know, a real deep web stuff. You know, I mean, you
Mm.
really got to go deep. You know, and yeah, Trump has Hunter Biden's laptop. And
Mm.
he's bringing it. He's bringing it to the arraignment tomorrow.
Mm.
Uh,
Ah,
so yeah,
do you?
yeah. I mean, that's how bizarre this crap is. That's just how bizarre this stuff is. It's Hollywood couldn't write this stuff.
I mean, I don't know what's false. Is it the him having Hunter Biden's laptop, or is it him showing up to be arraigned? Which one of those is kind of you think
Yeah,
the
yeah. That's a good point.
you know you
Good point.
if you would have said that this would happen in 2016, we would have said Trump years down the road he's going to be indicted for these activities. It would have sounded unbelievable, wouldn't it?
See, to me, no. I've been following this guy since the '80s.
Oh.
I was a kid. I grew up. My grandmother. That's back when you had the National Enquirer. Every house had a National Enquirer in it. And those kind of little news rags. And so I used to read them as a kid, just something to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And so I mean, you kind of been following this guy since the '80s. I mean, he's always been a con man. He just always has. That's his whole MO. I mean, when he first came down the elevator, I was like,
Oh.
give me a break. I mean, I always thought the Republicans he'd have not made it out of the original primaries. I was just
Oh,
like,
really?
the
Can't.
Republicans can't be this far. They can't be this lost, and they
But
were. They were.
there's I've heard Republicans say that the Trump supporters weren't really Republicans to begin with. The real Republicans don't like Trump. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, no, I mean, that's true. You got a core of what you call good old what a Republican's supposed to be. Reagan type Republican,
Mm-hmm.
and that, yeah, oh, I'm sure. He's made such a spectacle
Mm.
that they all just have to kind of stay low. They don't
Yeah.
want to pop their heads up.
Mm.
And that's what's kind of happened. They just had to stay low because he's got a way of just, you know, he creates this fantasy and this MAGA bunch that noise means you're popular.
Mm.
Like who makes the most noise is popular. That's why he always thought he won the vote. He won the. You don't show up to a city with 1 million people in it. Say he came to Jacksonville one time. He showed up over 1 million people in Jacksonville. He
Right.
draws 30,000 to a stadium.
Jack Smith.
That's 0.001% of the population. I
Mm.
mean, that's why he likes these live events. It feeds his ego to just see this crowd in front of him.
What do
You
you think
know,
about his supporters? Constantly egging him on. Do you think his supporters bear any responsibility in terms of him?
sure. I'm sure some of the people he's surrounded with. Look at what happened to all the people in his cabinet, in his original campaign finance committees and stuff. How they all got arrested,
Mm.
charged. I mean, just all these. I think people get close to him, and suddenly, like he just like they feel like they got to play along because
Yeah.
he throws money at them. So they
Oh.
got to play along. They
Oh.
get caught up in it like a web, and they got to play
Oh.
along.
Oh. Say it isn't so.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Would
he's like
you?
he's
Would
like what's the word, Sfingogi or Spinlaw? What is that term? They used to use a Sfingazi. I
yeah.
can't even think of it now.
Would you? Do you have such loyalty to any politicians?
No, never have.
Oh.
That's the whole idea of politics. Elections and stuff. We all social media. I mean, Trump did take advantage of this whole social media thing.
Mm.
He thinks he sees a lot of noise on social media, and it means he's the one that's popular, and it really doesn't.
Oh.
You know.
Shame. He's taking advantage of social media to
Oh
take
no,
advantage of people.
he's sharp. Well, he's sharp in that way. I'll give him that. He knew how to play this game. I mean, he jumped in there and run with it. The
Mm.
problem is the old saying. He started believing he started believing his own press way too much.
Wow.
You
You're
know,
right.
he started believing his own BS, and you
I don't
know,
think he could. I don't think he has a choice when it comes to this at this point. I think you to your point, he believes his own BS, and it's not like he has any other option.
oh well, I saw that again years ago. You
Years
saw
ago.
right when he yeah I saw through this guy years ago.
Mm,
And people I was like, well, whatever, we're gonna go down that road. But I mean, come on, all you
wow.
had to do is do a little background research on a guy, basic stuff.
Right.
But no, I mean, when he basically some of the things he said on early on as he got to be the president, when he didn't change. There was a
Right.
point everybody said, oh, when he gets, oh, he'll change when he gets to be president. He'll become more presidential. And I
Yeah.
was like, no, no.
Obama even said he wished and hoped that he
Well,
eventually
and
would
that was
grow
it.
into the position.
It was a wish and a hope everybody had because it wasn't else. He got elected, so it wasn't else we could do now but wish and hope, thoughts and prayers. That's all we could do. You know?
Oh my gosh. Listen, Johnny, you got it spot on. And I definitely appreciate what you had to say. I'm going to go ahead and give you a follow, champion, and then move on to the next
Yeah, I'll
talker.
start. I'll start getting on more with you. I'm
Yes,
loving it.
please do. Every Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. I go live.
Okay.
All
Have a
right.
good one. Oh, have a
All
good
right,
one.
you two, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Johnny is in the building. And well, these are real people giving us real feedback about what's going on in these lovely United States of America. Why not? You are back. Are you still there? I don't know if it's
I
connecting.
am here.
Okay, greetings. Why not? How are you doing, champion?
I am doing great, and yourself.
I'm doing all right. It's Monday morning. Time to get to it. Early bird gets the worm. What do you got for us?
So I want to jump in because they not the last one, but the one before Gus mentioned that there's a lot of Trump supporters that won't speak ill of Trump,
Oh
right?
yes.
So I chimed in and jumped in because I want to let you know that I am one that will speak ill of Trump.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have one.
So
Let's go. What do you got?
even though I did vote for him, and if he is found innocent and he runs again, I'll probably vote for him again. That being said, there are multiple things. One, he's got diarrhea of the mouth and won't shut up. Two, he's a narcissistic individual.
Hey!
Three, what he did to John McCain and what he said about John McCain was wrong.
Oh, you on fire!
Four, the way that he spoke about prisoners of war was wrong.
Woo! Why not? Go for it.
You
What
know,
else you
so
got?
like I said, I could literally give you a laundry list. I mean, I remember when he was president, I would sit back so frustrated because I'm like, and I talk to my friends and my family members, and I'd be like, why doesn't he shut the f up? I mean, he makes things worse for himself,
You
and the problem with Trump is, and he's said this before, is that if you punch me one time, I'm going to punch you three times, right?
wow, shame, bro.
So he's got this thing that if you insult me, I'm going to insult you three or four times.
Mm.
You know, we take, for instance, when he called, what was that, McConnell's wife, Coco Chain or Coco Chan or whatever her name is.
Oh, yes.
That was wrong. And he's a man child.
Woo!
Uh, but that being said, is one of the things I think that he did for the Republicans is he taught them to fight back. And
What?
now he didn't teach them to fight back the right way, but if you've been in politics for a long time, you know that the
Chris.
Republicans, they roll over.
There's people mad at you right now, Mr. Why Not. They're mad at you. They're saying you're not a real Trump supporter because you just came in hot. You criticized him.
Who's
Um,
mad at me?
there's people out there. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I
So
don't, I
like,
don't, I don't ever read the chat
yeah,
thread
yeah, yeah.
because
So
that's just pooping at
how do
cheap
you
seats.
consider yourself a Trump supporter and then still be a person that can
Well,
criticize him?
I think what you said wrong was a Trump supporter,
Oh,
right? There's a difference between a Trump supporter and a Trump voter,
oh,
right?
oh.
Trump's not a team, right? My team is America,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So Trump is a person. We
Oh.
go in there and we vote for what we believe is going to be the best for our country.
What is the difference between a Trump voter and a Trump supporter? Because you, if Trump is innocent, will vote for Trump again with all of
Okay,
the criticism.
are you a Biden supporter
Yeah.
or did you vote for Biden?
Actually, yes, I did vote for Biden. So wouldn't I be both?
No.
Oh,
If you go to a football team because a football game, NFL football game, just because you like NFL, but you don't like either one of those sports, but you love the NFL, do you have to be a supporter of one of those teams?
if I like the NFL, I have to support a team. Yes, at least one.
No. One of the Either one of those teams, the game you're at, is not your team.
Then I don't support the NFL.
No, at the game that you went to.
I'm talking. See. Then if you are, let's just say, a Lakers fan, I expect you to do Lakers related activities, and I expect you to, and openly admit that you are a Lakers fan. Hypothetically, okay. Does that mean that because you're a Lakers fan, you're also a Kobe Bryant fan? That's debatable. But
Well,
there are people who are fans of players, and then there are people who are fans of the organization. There's people who are fans of the actual league. I get all of that, but if in this context you voted for Trump, and you tell me, despite all of these negative things that he's done, which you've been very critical of, and thank you, you would vote for him again. I would definitely say you, in my opinion, are a Trump supporter. As a Democrat on the outside looking in, I can't go through all of the semantics and everything. It
I
is what it
understand, but
is.
do we not vote for the lesser of two evils majority of the time?
Uh, I vote for the best candidate. I don't know about all that evil stuff. I just vote for the best candidate.
So you thought Joe Biden was your guy.
Yes, he was the best candidate to go as far
Out
as
of
I was
all the
concerned.
Democrats that ran,
Yeah,
you thought Joe Biden
you.
was the best Democrat.
But listen, you saw what we just, the previous guest, Angela. She said in the primaries she went for Bernie Sanders. We were at the point where anybody was better than Trump. So whatever candidates the Democrats had lined up, we all could pick and choose which ones we thought would make the best president. It just so happened the way the cookie crumbled, Biden rose to the top. And if you think about it, that makes sense. The man had all of these years of experience. He was the vice president under one of the best presidents in my lifetime, President Barack Obama. Don't you think that makes him very qualified to be president?
You think Joe Biden rose to the top or you think Joe Biden was pushed to the top? Because he sure the hell wasn't leading before South Carolina. That's a question. That's just a question.
What's the difference? What's the difference? He
What's the
was rose.
difference?
He was rose. He rose. He got pushed. He was propelled. He was thrusted. He ended up at the top because of the man's. He was the best. He was the best candidate from the Democrat side. And then the United States. You love the United States, right?
Correct.
The people of the United States acknowledged that he was the best candidate as well. We know the Democrats did, but obviously there are Republicans against Trump that also acknowledged he was the best candidate, right?
Correct. 73 million.
Well, I don't know if that's on the Trump side,
Right.
right? But I'm talking about the Republicans who did vote for Trump. I mean Biden. There are Republicans who voted for Biden as well because they acknowledge, like you said, if America is what your loyalty is to, they acknowledge that between Biden and Trump, Biden was the best candidate. And I don't think there was any mystery as to how that happened. I think the mystery is, why do you see Trump not being such a good candidate and still see people supporting him? Isn't that more of a mystery?
No, because I think that if so, there's a lot of people that say Trump was a horrible president, right? So a lot of people think that he is a hated man. But if you look at his votes from 2016 through 2020, he got 9 million more votes than he did the first time he ran.
Yeah, yeah, but that's
So,
because that happens when people choose to vote and not vote, right? I would argue that because of Trump's presidency, a lot of people who would sit who normally sat out, they got out and voted. The numbers were high across the board for a reason.
right, because they changed the parameters of voting.
Okay, I'll give you that, but I think a lot more people wanted Trump out of office. After 4 years of this guy, think about this. The pandemic did Trump a huge disservice because he didn't take care of that situation the way that he should, and it frustrated millions and millions of people. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
And the rhetoric, like you just said, he couldn't keep his mouth shut. It was so much that people who don't normally want to vote said, you know what? I'm going to make sure this guy is not in office. Gen Z especially. And I don't think a lot of people acknowledge that's really why those numbers were the way they were. There was no mysterious suitcases and this fake elector scheme going on. The frustration in this country was that high.
That's fair. And then the
And
last thing I wanted to mention before I drop out of here is that earlier when you were doing your monologue, you
yeah.
mentioned that why a case is a case, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're on the live yesterday that I was on, and you heard me mention that it's confusing that this is the one case that they chose to die on the Hill for. Is what I meant by that was that not that Donald Trump is above the law.
Mm-hmm.
What I meant by that is I just wish that they would have chosen a case that was because according to y'all is that you know he's got cases coming up lined up,
Line
right?
up.
They should have chosen a bigger one than this because this.
Wait a second. It's not like any of those other cases have disappeared. You know that.
Oh,
This is
absolutely,
just the app.
but
This is just the appetizer. Exactly. This is
he called it
we
an
about to have a
appetizer.
full course meal of real investigations, criminal investigations. Think about that though. Why not? These are not no civil man. These are criminal investigations. And what do you think about this obstruction of justice thing? Right? They got him on camera out there in Mar-a-Lago, getting those boxes that the FBI was asking for. And then he got testimony from staffers, possibly his attorney, basically saying Trump went through the documents and said, I'm keeping this one. No, the government had these, but I'm keeping these ones. Obstruction. They got him. What do
Right, and
you
that
have to
goes
say
back to
about
the narcissistic attitude that he had.
that? Okay. Okay, that's
Anyway,
fair.
like I said, I just want to jump on because there are Republicans that will speak ill will of him. It's just
Mhm.
some of them won't because of the fact that it's their guy.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Well,
And they
my
know it,
hope
but they just won't say it.
My okay, well, you know what my hope is this, and I've been asking all people who come in Republican or Trump supporters or in your case Trump voters, will you continue to hold your party accountable for these kind of things? When you know wrong and misinformation is being circulated, will you continue to hold your party accountable?
I'll continue to hold everybody accountable that breaks the law.
I'm talking about your party. I want to see you tell a Trump supporter, no, you're wrong.
Oh,
Biden won.
absolutely. George Santos, you know who he is, right?
I know who he is.
Dude, lock that guy up.
Oh, cut it out. All right, thank you. Why not?
All right,
You know
talk
what
to you,
I'm
man.
saying. I want you to tell a Trump supporter the truth that Biden won the election fair and square, and Trump was responsible for January 6th. Can you do that?
Oh, I will not say he's responsible for January the 6th. That's stretch.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. I gotta move it on.
All
All
right,
right.
brother.
Why not? I think one day you'll come around and say, you know what, Zeus, you were right the whole
Hey,
time.
I listen to you every day. Keep working on it.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We're going to do a couple of more. And then I gotta run. Oh my goodness, there's no way I'll be able to get through all of this. All of you, come on, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Shay. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, attacking. Okay. And I'll end it on this, and then I gotta run. Let's go. Starting with Shay.
Yeah, so thank you, Nutty, for bringing up the Shaniqua comment. And sorry I didn't see Zeus's live and apologizing. But yeah, so just want to confirm on that. Nutty, thanks for bringing attention. Zeus, thanks for addressing it. Because you know,
Mm-hmm.
I brought that up yesterday as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, enough on that. Lost complete disrespect for him after that, or lost any respect I had for him after that. You know, in the end of the day, he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing, and like you said, he should have said, "Listen, I shouldn't have done that." Because in the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the skin color of that person was. It was breaking through the door and going through a window. It didn't have a. It didn't matter what her skin color was. Period. End of story. And by the way, Snuggles, we do talk about Ashley Babbitt. We've talked about her forever.
Mm.
The fact that you said that we did not even talk about
Thank you,
her is
April.
ridiculous. Yes, we did. We talked about, but yeah. So yeah, I see the Trump plane is on the tarmac. Watching the news. This is good stuff. This is good.
Hey,
Yes, yes,
it's the day before the indictment, the
yep,
arraignment, I should say.
yep,
Mm.
yes. Tara Reid is a joke, Joe. Uh, she even retracted her story, Joe. You need to keep up with everything.
Oh, she retracted it.
Yeah, she
Wow.
retracted it. Yeah.
Got to keep up with the latest crimes that are going on in
She
the
couldn't
Biden crime
couldn't keep her
family.
story straight, guys.
Like I said,
Story straight.
Joe, here's the real crime with the
True, Joe.
Bidens right
Go look
here.
it up.
Let me get you the real crimes. You must have missed my morning segment where I talked about the real crime. Hunter Biden spotted outside of a New York City gallery featuring his newest artwork. These are the real crimes going on in the Biden family. And I will be covering everything the Bidens are doing as well.
I love that, Zeus. Keep doing it, man. That
You're
was
welcome.
I loved your opening. I was
Yeah.
laughing. You had me laughing this morning.
Yeah.
Dang it, Joe Biden's talking about
Look at this.
infrastructure.
Look
Shame.
at this. You know I got the evidence. Look at this. Hunter Biden with his wife.
Oh,
Crime.
right. He's holding her
Shame.
hand. He's holding her hand. No.
That will not be tolerated.
I think that's most of what I wanted to say. Thank you so
All right. Well, thank you, Shay. All
Yeah.
right. Let's move it on to Brother Anthony. Greetings.
Thanks for having me up, Zeus. I'm always a good time here in Olympus.
Yes, yes. I try to make it the best time you can have, the best experience. It's like a theme park over here.
Now, uh, it amazes me that they're ready to throw their lives away again after watching this man let thousands of people catch cases. Not only catch cases, but a lot of them are in prison now,
Mm,
and they're still ready to go and throw their lives away. Not only their money, but their lives.
mm,
So there's no way that you can tell me that sane, reasonable people would would go through these extremes for a politician. You're not even gonna go through these extremes for your nephews or your cousins or hell, not even your children for that
mm,
matter. You
mm,
know, they have family members that they've watched do things that involve the law,
mm.
and they told them they got to go do their time, but they're willing to go throw their lives away for a politician. It's unreal to me.
You know, it's unreal, and that's why I say it's the relationship Trump and his supporters have. they need to give each other a break because I think they're both pushing each other to the extreme, and it's unhealthy. You know,
Yeah, it's
you
real
you
unhealthy.
you go, no, you go, and it just goes all the way up. Now we're in this territory of crimes being committed.
But see, they
This
don't,
was
and
just supposed to be voting.
yeah, and I'm mute after I say this. They don't realize the reason why they started in New York. They started in New York to go ahead and get the attention of anybody who's going to be a nutbag because New York has the most security. New York has the most surveillance. You know, if they would have started anywhere else down there, let me clean it up. If they would have started down there in Georgia, it would have been more opportunity for stupidity.
Mm.
Let's just say it like that, for stupidity. So with it popping off and starting in New York, um, I'm pretty sure them people they 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 wish y'all would come up there and start trouble because
Mm.
you're not gonna leave New York without having been caught on camera doing something.
Oh, you ain't. At this point, it's open season for prosecutions in New York. Trust me.
That's
Thank you, heaven.
But I'm a mute now.
All right. Thank you, brother Anthony. All right, attacking. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you.
Hey.
Let's start out with why not. He's your typical Trump lover. He's your
He's
cult.
a Trump voter, he said.
No, 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 no. Because with all the information that's coming out against Trump, he would still vote for him. He's a
Mm.
Trump cultist. Um, like you just said, there's videotape now of Trump going through boxes from Mar-a-Lago, separating what he wants to keep and hide. That's obstruction of justice.
Can
Sorry,
you say obstruction?
obstruction. You've got this case here, which it's just a new portion of the first one where Michael Cohen went to prison. It's a
Right.
continuation. It's falsifying documents. Also, I think there's obstruction due to the fact that he offered pardons if you don't talk.
Hmm.
Okay, that's another thing. All this information is coming out. You've got his tapes with Georgia. I just need 11,780 votes. Come on, guys, what do you got? Come on, give me a break. Now you've got the videotape with Mar-a-Lago. You have
Yeah.
documentation. You have memos. You have phone calls. You have text messages. How much information do you guys really need to keep to stop following this guy? And Angela, I love you, but it's Svengali, not Benghazi. I wrote. I saw what you wrote. So the thing is this: you have all this information on one guy, no information on other people that you say are criminals and want to lock up. I don't. What's wrong with you guys? Come on. This is serious. This is what justice does. This is
Mm.
Lady Justice working the way it should work, like it or not. Nobody is above the law. Right now, Trump is a private citizen like you and I. And if it was you and I who did half the things that he has done, we'd already be in prison.
We would.
And the only reason why it's taking so long is the formality of him being an ex president. He is not above you or I in the legal system. Let it work and then abide by it. You had audit after audit after audit of 6 states that were in contest, and then you guys still didn't like the outcome. So when he does get found guilty, whether or not he goes to prison or gets probation and a fine, the outcome is he did something criminal.
He did.
Bottom line.
Order. Listen, order and attacking. Shame.
Yep. Other than that, I'll be
We
quiet.
will not tolerate treason in the kingdom, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Thank you so much, attacking. Chris, good morning. How are you?
I'm I'm doing well, Zeus. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for asking.
Good.
The Trump
Go
supporters, most
Zeus.
of them don't come here any longer. They know that my lives are no longer as funny as they used to be, I think.
I noticed that. What happened
Hmm.
to him? Hmm.
Well, okay, I'll address it. Okay, I'll address it. Sorry, Chris, and then I'll let you go. So there was a period of time where
Okay.
before Trump got indicted, the stuff and the information that I was sharing, it was humorous. I was the king of misinformation, and it was funny. They had screen recordings, and it was funny. You go watch my videos and laugh. Zeus is wrong. I look at Zeus is wrong. He keeps saying Trump's going to get indicted. Zeus is wrong. Then last Thursday happened. Last Thursday happened. In Trump world, the foundation cracked, and they saw Zeus has been right the whole time.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Zeus is not funny.
No.
And now some of them are concerned. They're like, he's the most dangerous person on TikTok. He says this stuff like Jack Smith. Jack.
Right.
And there just might be something to what he's saying. I'm terrified to go talk to Zeus now because that guy, he's no joke. He's the real deal.
Yep.
He says blue wave. There's no blue wave. I mean, there's no red wave. That's my thought at least. All right. I'm so sorry. That's what's going on. But
You
they
you
will
you
hopefully
you're
be
not wrong.
joining.
You're not wrong though. You're not wrong
No,
at
he's
all.
not wrong. He's not wrong.
Hmm.
They were in here every
Hmm.
day, and I'm like, what happened to them?
Duetting my videos, sending me nasty messages. You're wrong. You're a liar. Your
Oh,
content
Zeus.
Yep.
hateful. But
Sure.
it's one of these things where I'm like, I'm just covering the news.
It's a
I'm not
TikTok
making this
for
stuff up.
it's
I'm not getting TikTok videos and bring stuff. I don't bring TikTok videos to you because I don't know where that information. I go get it
No.
myself. I get it straight out
Oh,
of the
no.
mud,
No,
ladies and
no, no,
gentlemen.
no, no,
There.
no.
All right, Chris. I'm so sorry to take your time, but I wanted to address
It's
that. I hope.
okay, love.
Oh, well, listen, I appreciate the love. What do you got?
So first of all, I'll just start by saying I'm not a Trumper. I'm not a MAGA person. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I hate them all equally. I think they're all
Fair enough.
crazy. I think it's broken. I think the whole system is screwed up and that none of them give a flying F about us. And that's just
Thank
the
you.
truth. If they cared
Mm.
about us, did you see me censor myself? I didn't say the F word. I said I don't give a
I know.
flying F. That was good. That's progress. Okay, so just be proud of that.
Very proud.
Um, I think if any of them truly gave a crap about us, they would be down here in our communities making a difference.
Mm, that's fair. It's a
Now
lot
I
of
would
it's a
agree.
lot. It's a
And
lot to get into the community, though.
Now I would
right.
agree with Chris.
Well, you
I
know,
would
it
agree
doesn't take
with
that much
Chris.
for a politician to get in the community. Our
But
politicians get in our communities in my area. You know, we have our state representatives and our local representatives that get in the trenches with the people because they care. And I think that there are very few and far between that do that. They don't even know what their constituents live like in their districts, much less have really even walked around them. Their kids go to private schools, not public ones. They don't know what the VA is like in their district. They don't know any of that stuff. They're not part of the community. They just represent the community for what they want it to be. Anyway, if Trump's guilty, lock him up, throw away the key, and make an example out of him. Nail him to the wall.
Thank you. What about Hunter Biden and his wife? What do you want us
You
to
know
do to
what?
him?
I don't have. If he's guilty of anything that they accused him of, lock him up. If
No,
he's
this
not, then
right
leave him the
here.
hell
This right
alone.
here. They're holding hands in New York at an art
People need to
gallery.
get off the stage. You
What is
know,
he guilty?
people need to get off the stage, not this tit for tat stuff. I'm so sick of the tit for tat between the parties that it's not even funny. Let Hunter be with his wife and enjoy his life. He's had enough hardship, just like everybody else in this country has. And politicians and their children are still people.
Mm, thank you.
I'm shocked right now, and I'm not
Thank
even
you.
being funny. I'm shocked right now.
Oh, this
Chris
is the
gave
live.
Chris, Chris gave some truth today, like she did yesterday on some topics that she was talking about. Bravo.
I know.
She is the
But
real
but
Look, both
deal.
sides hate me.
but normally she scares me, and I'm not even being funny because I've heard a lot of um how should I say it, without because she's been a great conversationalist today. A lot of
You can say whatever because you're not going to offend me. I mean, I've had the left and the right attack me. Shay can tell you. Everybody hates me.
Yep,
No,
she's right.
I hear a lot of yeah, and I know, but I hear a lot of QAnon stuff come from you. So it's kind of
I don't say anything I can't prove.
I hear a
So I'm
lot
just
of
saying. You can ask Jamie in the
but
comment
I'm not
section.
gonna change but I'm
Ask
not gonna
Jamie.
change the direction of this conversation
Yeah.
because
But
I'm
yeah,
agreeing
no,
with you
I
this
mean,
morning.
Yes, we
yeah.
as long as
Well,
we are in agreement, I think that's pretty much safe to say progress is being made.
my thing is, I'm sick of all of them. I'm sick of both sides. I'm sick of them all. I've watched the Republicans and the Democrats sit at dinner tables and laugh together, but get in front of a camera and yell at each other.
Hmm. Fair enough.
I
Yeah.
take that. I respect that. Yeah,
Yep.
I
Fair
respect
enough.
that.
Well, listen,
Can't argue
ladies and
that.
gentlemen, we well past overtime, and Zeus does have to
But
roll.
I just have one more thing to say to you, Zeus, and then I'm going to go.
Yes, I
Zeus,
am Triple H.
intent, just
Don't drop
remember
the
this.
ball.
Oh,
Don't drop the
And
okay.
ball.
remember this. Hold on. Remember this, Zeus. Intent is everything.
Absolutely. And
So
we all
remember that with a certain person, intention is everything.
absolutely. And you know what is also everything? Accountability.
Yep.
Yes, both sides are. Both sides are
You
equally
got
important. But
you.
intent
It,
matters way more than the way you take something.
well, it's not
Intentions are
always.
everything.
Well, see, now you're getting into my.
I mean, if you're talking about Snuggles, his intent was
Look,
to raise
no, I
Jake.
promise you, intentions are
I
everything.
know, and his intention was to be
No,
racist.
they were not, Shay. No,
Yes,
it was
they
not.
were. Yes.
Because no,
Oh
he was
my
not.
God! This
But
is what I.
intent is
All I'm going to
everything, and
No,
that's all I'm
say
going to
exactly.
is
say.
He was
Hold
saying,
on,
he's
hold
like,
on. Intent is everything, and
so
I
you're telling me
cannot.
he's an ignorant man?
Hold on, Shay.
Oh,
Intent is
sorry.
everything, and we all have said things out of anger. You said that you want. Well, anyway, Shay, you know what you said that day, remember?
wait a
And I
second.
came to you and I
We
asked you
can't.
something, Shay, because it bothered me.
Order, order,
Yeah, I
Hold
order
on,
in
Zeus.
but
the
But Zeus,
but
court.
that's all I want to say to you. Intent
racism
is
is a whole
everything.
separate
And
can.
I adore you, Zeus, and I know you're intelligent, and I know that you
But with
are
Yeah.
not going to let your emotions overpower your intelligence because you're brilliant. Intent is everything, and I love you, Zeus.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
we got that. But Chris, I'm still a big fan of accountability.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and prior to even doing politics, that's what majority of my content was about. Everyone taking accountability. The hardest thing, like I said to people that follow me earlier, when you have something like a drug addiction, the hardest part is confronting the fact that you have that addiction. Okay.
yeah,
And not blaming the people around you for you using it, not blaming life for you using it, not blaming your partner and things that are going on for you doing this. You actually have to say, I have a problem.
you have to find the catalyst to the problem.
Yes. Yes.
Once you find the catalyst to the problem, you can conquer it.
Thank you.
Right. And to Chris's point, I took ownership of what I said out of anger. Snuggles did not. You have to take ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't say, but this and what about this. That's not taking ownership. So
And I
until he takes ownership of what he said was absolutely categorically wrong to say, then I'll agree with you, Chris. How's that? Okay.
I don't even know what happened, and it sounded like she's trying to throw shades to Snuggles.
Well, the thing is, okay, I people ask me why, why am I friends with Snuggles, and and I try to have to explain this, but I feel like we might be in a space where the friendship is being abused to a certain degree, right?
Yeah,
And what I mean by that is, if you really are friends with people, you shouldn't put them in situations where they constantly have to defend you,
right.
and so that's what it is. I get what Chris is saying about intent. He may have intended to be funny and joke, and that to me, I can run with that. But if we telling you like, hey, you didn't tell that joke correctly because it came across as offensive, then I think there needs to be that accountability where you go, okay, I apologize. It's not.
So
It's nothing you
so
can debate.
he made an improper joke in regards to color.
Uh,
How did,
yeah, the long story of it is that he said that if Ashley Babbitt's name was Shaniqua, she
yeah.
wouldn't have gotten shot. Okay.
Oh fudge.
Yep.
serious?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
and so when you and again, I'm a man. I'm a rehabilitated man myself. Like I said,
Yeah,
if
I'm
I
not
play,
perfect in any way,
yeah,
but you don't play when it comes to racism. And when you do
yeah.
it, you need to own it. You need to say, I'm sorry, and you need to do better. Period. End of story. We all slip up on this app 100%. But
I'm the king of slipping up, honestly, and that's why
absolutely.
when I find that I'm feeling very frustrated, I just drop out the live. It's over because nothing good is. I'm not gonna. I know myself well enough to know I don't know how to. I don't know how to talk when I'm frustrated.
Right, right. And we do.
I
I
don't.
said I own my stuff.
Yeah.
But no, not when it comes to that. And that's you have to come much further in that if you're going to be on this app with your racism. You just do. And you showed it. You
Wow.
showed your hide. You did.
Well, what I will propose is, and I got to check in with him, is uh, outside of a live about politics, maybe I do need to have this discussion about racism. We need to have a racism discussion on TikTok. Is that what it sounds like? Does Zeus need to confront racism head on? I've
Well,
confronted the toughest of issues.
yeah, I mean, the
Okay.
fact you felt comfortable in your life as a black man to say such a thing
Mm,
concerned me. It just did.
mm,
That concerned me
mm,
a lot. That's why I was pissed off about it. I'm like, excuse
mm.
me, you shouldn't say that. Period. But supposedly you're a friend with Zeus, and
That's not.
you
That's
did
not.
that racist trope on his live was
That's
highly
not.
disrespectful to you. It
That's
just
not.
was.
That's not funny in any way, shape, or
It no, it's
form.
not. And it's not true. It didn't matter what color skin she was. She could have been a zebra coming through. She was gonna get it. Period. End of story.
She's breaching a barricade.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I will deal with this as I see fit, and I appreciate all of your support. I ask that
Yeah.
we all be as positive
Hey,
and
Zeus,
productive
one
as we.
question for today.
Yes, what's that?
Has anybody told you how handsome you look today?
Yes, of course. Zeus is the most handsome, most attractive man on this platform.
Yes, you
Okay,
are. Yes, you
look
are.
at that. Thank you, attacking, and
You're
thank
welcome.
you, Shay. We must
Absolutely.
now run. Love you too, April.
All right. Love
Oh
you
All
my
right.
guys.
gosh.
Oh,
Oh,
hi,
take
morning, Shay.
care.
Morning, Shay.
Oh my gosh.
Put all those
What a
hearts,
day.
blue waves
What
in
a
the
morning.
chat.
Oh my
Woo
gosh.
woo. Let's go.
All right. See you guys.
All right.
This is how
Bye.
We'll
I
see
move
each
when
other
I'm
around
walking
today,
like Zeus.
everybody.
Everybody.
This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when
Hunter
I'm moving like
Biden.
Zeus. Don't be playing with my moves when
Biden,
I'm moving
stop
like
all the
Zeus. I
corruption.
can get you till I come up like Zeus. Burn in the sky,
Light
light
you
you
up
up
like
like
Zeus.
Zeus. I make my own rules.
I'm
I'm
a
a
god,
god,
call
call
me
me
Zeus.
Zeus. I'm better than the eagle, I got bread on me too.
Took a long time to get here and I'm feeling brand new. If you living like a bum, get away from me, fool. I got money on my mind. I can't leave it up to you. I can't leave it up to you, ladies and gentlemen.
You a high risk. If I do miss, I
Use
put a fanny
moose.
on your head. This is way above the feds.
When you playing with the gods and
you playing with the
goodbye,
dead.
they
I'ma
can't.
let loose with the truth.
Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth. Player hating on the gods, boy, he's such a douche. I tried to be patient, but you had to light my fuse. I'm catching all these snakes like a mongoose. These ladies love me, yeah, I'm the one that they choose. You know I'm so handsome, that's why they call me Zeus. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my mood when I'm moving like Zeus. I can get you cold till I Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Blue wave. Put the blue wave out there. Oh, you were bumping it yesterday? Thank you so much. I've been waiting for this moment now. I gotta choose. Yes, we are for Joe Biden.
So don't play me like a fool. If you can't swim,
Don't be in the pool, even though I'm hot. People telling me be cool. I'm just sitting on my throne while you looking like a goof. Let's go!
yeah, grab your goose. Mama, let me play with your caboose. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth.
Yeah, hating on the gods, boy, you such a douche. I tried to be patient, but you had to light my fuse. I'm catching all these snakes like a mongoose. These ladies love me, yeah, I'm the one that they choose.
You know I'm so handsome, that's why they call me Zeus.
This is how I move when I'm working.
Make sure you go work out. Make sure you go and walk your dog. Make sure you kiss babies and shake hands, ladies and gentlemen. Eat healthy. Okay? Be the best version of yourself.
I make my own rules. I'm a god, call me Zeus.
Great show. 888. Yes.
I'm the goddess of God, you know what I'm
I
saying?
really am, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
breaking down the roof with this heat.
Yes, training for that 5K.
Hard like Bruce.
Lawrence Reed on the beat. You better call the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I can dance and box in the jungle like a kangaroo. Don't get caught slipping in the woods or you'll be dead like a moose. Lindsay on the beat like Zeus, let's go. Philip on the beat like Zeus. RMC on the beat.
Yeah, you heard about me.
Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great morning. What a show.